True Plays.
Hello everybody, True Marvels here, your Million G Gamer. Welcome to my speedrun of Agent A, A Puzzle in Disguise. It's a fantastic game and I really enjoyed getting all the achievements in this game. The speedrun seems a little bit daunting at first, but you do really have an awful lot of leeway to make mistakes in it. Now this is a warts and all attempt. This was my very first attempt at the speedrun. My plans I'd put in place beforehand went completely awry in chapter 3. I got chapter 3 completely messed up in my notes and was left floundering around for quite some time there. So chapter 3 is pretty messy, but chapters 1, 2, 4 and 5 have barring a few mistakes, go in the wrong place, a couple of screens here and there, was pretty good, but I still managed to finish. Probably, I've actually not checked how fast I finished. I think I came in about, well, the video files had hour 45, so I finished at least 15 minutes ahead of time that was required. So I'm going to kind of talk over this and kind of laugh at myself during this, because it's the first time I watched it back, and hopefully it helps you guys get the achievement. So just before we begin with the speedrun, I've probably done some kind of lame introduction to all this, but probably forgot to mention some very important things about the speedrun. So just in case I did, here are the important rules. You have to start on chapter 1 and go through to chapter 5. You don't have to do it all in one sitting, but you can't jump around chapters. So you basically got to leave the game where you left off, and you can come back at it at another time if you've not got a couple of hours to have a run at it. You can also pause the game as well. I didn't pause it in my run, but I wanted to just see if you could do it without pausing, and indeed you could. But I have been reliably told by the game developer that you are able to pause the game during the speedrun. The cutscenes apparently don't count towards the time as well, but obviously you've probably played through the game at least once, all the chapters at least once by this point in time, so I just skipped them for obvious reasons there, but apparently they don't count towards your time anyway, but just in case, skip them. So right, here we go then. Okay, so make sure you go to chapter 1, make sure you hit begin. It will overwrite your original save game there, so don't worry about that. And we skip the opening cutscene. You want to start off after we cut the cutscene from Erming Disguise, because that's a great name. Go to the front door, get the key from underneath the plant pot. Go to the keypad, open it up with a lock, with a key even. And this is always buttons 2, 3, 5 and 6. So we're now inside. Go to the vase, open up the top of it and press the red button. We're going to open up this picture, which will open this panel. We're going to get the crank from the top shelf any minute now. Oh, I do the buttons first, so this you just keep hitting the buttons. Doesn't really matter, just keep hitting the buttons. That sorts it out, and it'll open some cubes for later on. I did get the crank, sorry. I did get the crank, I just got it really quickly. So now we're going to go straight through into this second living room and skip a cutscene. And into the piano room, knock the lamp over, knock the book over, get the magnet, and straight back out. Back down to the first living room, to the fish tank. And use the magnet on the key and negotiate the key out of the fish tank, trying to avoid those spiky, I think there's a sea enemies out there or something, but this bit's a bit awkward to control, but it's not too bad. You're best holding the magnet on it and then kind of just doing small little drags, but it still does have a kind of mind of its own and doesn't actually work like a magnet actually would, but never mind. So we finally got the key. This is used in the exact same room. We just go up the flight of stairs, use the key in the lock to unlock the hallway. And now, which way do we go from Norway? Oh, open the drawer, get your first of many wedges. And I go in the bathroom first of all. So in the bathroom, we want to turn the shower on just for the clock thing. I don't know if you have to turn it on. And you can get an achievement in that, but we're not concerned about that at the moment. You can do that at your leisure. Open the cabinet, get a second wedge, flick the switch, which unlocks the safe room, and we want to get the telescope. We don't want to bother with the monitors. I think we have to a certain degree because of this little cutscene kind of thing.
I see you found my safe room, agent.
So we're actually near the end of chapter 1 now. Chapter 1 is very, very short. I think when this originally came out, chapter 1 and 2 were released at the same time. So after we've listened to Ruby Rivers a little bit there, we need to go back, flick the switch, back across into the hallway, across into what is the study. And there's a few things to do here. We found out the clock needs to be set at 3 o'clock, so wind it all the way there. Takes a little while. That gives us diamond, which is the key item to completing chapter 1. So once that is done, I think I had a little think about what I need to do next. We want to go to the record, get the record, put the record on the record player. You can get an achievement here by holding A on the actual record and scratching it 10 times, or for 10 seconds I think it is. And you get an achievement, but again, not interested in that in this speedrun. Put the crank in the gramophone slot and keep cranking until it gets the red zone, and we'll fire the screwdriver out, which again is another important item to complete in the first chapter. There goes the screwdriver. Now we want to go upstairs into Ruby's bedroom. We want to go to here. You really don't have to do this in hindsight, but I did it. I just wanted to get rid of things in my inventory. I weighed up that messing around in my inventory with loads of extra objects would take more time probably than just placing them. So we go upstairs, get another wedge from under the cushion, move the plant pot, get a cube, and we also, I was going to put the telescope down before it was even up then. We want to adjust the plants to this, so we'll do down, up, and down 2, up 1, and job done. That brings the telescope stand up. Place the telescope just to get it out of his inventory. Can't use it yet because we haven't got a lens, but there is another wedge there. So again, get the wedge, and I think I stop off and place these wedges once again. Again, you can choose to do that if you so wish or not. That's entirely up to yourself. So after a little bit of thinking time there, we want to go right back downstairs into the living room and go to the console that we uncovered first of all. And we want to mess around with this square thing. Now, this puzzle, the answer to it is in Ruby's bedroom in the picture. You have to put them in the same order each and every time, which is pink, white, orange, blue, yellow. And that gives us another wedge. And now we go and complete chapter 1. We go into the outside the patio area. We go to the security panel and we unlock it with the screwdriver. Place the diamond in the laser beam, which shorts the system, and that actually concludes chapter 1. You think we get a cutscene here, which I paused it then for a second. I don't know why I paused it. In fact, I do know why I paused it. I got a knock at the door. I got a knock at the door and had to go answer the door for a second. I think, like I said in the introduction, probably this is literally the live run of what I did. There's no edits or cuts out of it, but it just goes to show and prove that you can pause it, and you know the time doesn't count, or you've got plenty of time to mess around with. So I'll fill this time. If you want to know what it was some books that we get every month, and yeah. So back in the game now. So literally the cutscene I think is happening any second now. Yeah, that's the cutscene that signifies the end of chapter 1.